Hey guys, what's up? I've just completed a project that I've been working on for the last 4-5 months, especially in the last 3 weeks. I have been making over my balcony, and the challenge was to try make most of the items because I'm on a budget. So that's just how the balcony had been looking for the last 1 year or so. So I just cleared out all the plants.
Please get back early. Head out with champagne and dresses and let's get girly.
The first part of the project was to fix my plant situation. I think this was the hardest part of this project. So I was trying to resize this metal stand so that I reduced the levels. Instead of 5 levels of shelves, we're going to have 3. And then I also wanted to add wheels so that I can give it a bit of mobility. An easy way I found of attaching the wheels would be just cutting up a few pieces of wood and then using that wood, now attaching the wood to the metal, and then now attaching the caster wheels to the planks of wood that you have.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. Try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
The caster wheels I'm using, I got from my TV stand, but I know you can get them in industrial area and some stores in Tao, if I'm not wrong. I was looking for the ones that have a stopper, so I didn't find them, so I didn't see the point of buying these ones, and I didn't need these ones anyway. If anyone knows where I can get the ones that have a stopper, the caster wheels that usually have a stopper so that at some point the item doesn't move. If you know where I can get them, just kindly let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it because I have a few more projects that need wheels. So after this I was done. All that was left was to just have one coat of black oil-based paint, and I'm using oil-based paint because it's an outdoor piece.
Angel boy, you say that. Never gonna stand a chance, heartbreak like a sad romance.
So then I moved on to the second part of the project, which was my best part of this whole project. I was redoing my tiled tabletop. The reasons I was redoing it was I made it during the first week of December. By the second week of December, it was already broken. And I read later that it was because I didn't give the glue enough drying time. Also, I left huge spaces because of the pattern I used. So when the grout dried, first of all, it didn't dry black. And then number 2, it kind of had a sunken point. So it looked sunken. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't like that it looked like that. So when I was redoing the balcony, I decided to just redo it again, but instead now use white grout and a different pattern that calls for smaller spaces between the tiles. So then I removed all existing tiles with a hammer and a chisel. I had the option to sand down the table. Then I decided against it because I'm lazy. And then I had the genius idea to glue down fabric mesh. And then it actually worked. So I didn't have construction mesh. I don't even know where I can get construction mesh. But I had fabric mesh, so I decided to glue it down to the surface, and then I'll glue the tiles on top of it, and it worked. Oh my god, I can't believe it worked so perfectly.
Angel boy, boy, angel boy, you say that I'm your favorite toy, but I'll never be your angel boy, angel boy.
From here, I played around with the tiles, tried arranging them on the table just to see what design would work. And then when I was sure of the design I wanted, I now went around gluing the tiles on. So I'm using contact glue before attaching the tile to the table. You need to wait for the glue to get tacky, so maybe a couple of minutes. And then once it gets tacky, then attach the tile to the table.
Be your angel boy, angel boy, you say that I'm your favorite toy, but I'll never be your angel boy.
I left it to air for I think I left it out for a week, to be honest, because I just wanted it to fully cure. So I left it out for a week, and when I came back, oh my god, the tiles were solid. They were solid. They were glued on kabisa.
Angel boy.
So now it was time to grout. I got a YouTube tutorial to learn how to mix the grout. I think I didn't mix it right the first time I did it. So the consistency is meant to be like thick ice cream. So it's not supposed to be runny at all, and it's not supposed to be really, really thick, but it's not supposed to fall off from your mixer, if that makes sense.
Babe, why don't you tell me so? I don't even know the difference from it anymore. And I've been listening to your sounds, but they don't feel me. At least I know that you'll be singing about me when I'm
Ideally, there's a grouting tool. I couldn't find any. So I used this scraping thing that came with my blender. It worked perfectly. I think you can use a card as well. And it worked amazing to fit the grout in between the tiles. So now everything was to be on one level.
I've been roaming around the places we used to go. Only just reliving feelings that I had before. I think I'm going numb, but babe, why don't you tell me so? I don't really know the difference from it anymore. And I've been listening to your sounds, but they don't feel me. At least I know that you'll be singing.
After 20 minutes of dry time, I used a wet sponge to wipe off the excess grout, and then I let the table air dry for like 2 days. And then a day after that, I attached the edge banding. But I noticed the tiles were sticking out of the edge banding, and I didn't like how it looked. So I mixed some more grout and used it to even out the edges to fill in where the tiles were sticking out. So then I made removable covers for the outdoor seats. And finally, to the last DIY of this whole project, I wanted to have fairy lights, just to give the space some bit of a mood, sort of like an ambience. And I got these lights from an ex-Germany store for like 700 bob. And I'm just using a mop handle that broke a while back. I just pre-painted it black, and then I used hooks and thread to hang it. I was going for sort of like a cascading look with the lights. I don't think I nailed it quite yet, but I don't know, I like how it looks.
Like I love me, might have to wait a little, and that's okay with me. Okay, 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 okay with me. Okay, 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 I would tell you everything I believed in.
So a few more hanging plants later and hanging shelves. I was done with the whole project. 6 months of procrastination, finally done, and yeah.
Take a hit, take another one. Hold your breath till it turns you on. Let your feet leave the ground, hold my hand and don't let go. Take a trip, we can get away, lose ourselves and say anything that we want, it's okay, cause this is love.
Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you again next week for another makeover. Bye-bye.